Hello everyone, the Unknown Truth here again with another video for you today. Sorry, it's been a while. I've been busy, kind of disappeared off the radar. But this is a video I've been wanting to put together for a while, just about some of the connections Donald Trump has, with the Clintons, other things, his views on 9/11, what he said he was going to do, some stuff like that. Now, this is information I'm providing here that, I can't really. I mean, some of it's here, some of it's there, but I encourage you guys. I'm going to try to give you the best information I can, but you need to do your own research on this so you can get an established idea of kind of what's going on with the whole situation. Just how things work, I guess you'd say. But I want to do that, so let me get to it here. So, just want to establish a case for Donald Trump. This guy came out of the woodworks. I knew him in the past. He was friends with Clinton, all that. He was kind of a rogue guy. His parents were rich. It gave him a good bit of money to start a real estate environment. He's just kind of built it from there. But he's been an actor. So I mean, he's an admitted non-Christian. He admitted he has not ever asked Christ for forgiveness. He did that when Rick Warren was interviewing it, and I still don't think he's admitted any other way. He says he's a Protestant, but hey, demons can be Protestants, that's fine. But I want to kind of cover some information here. I'm going to post this page here from Reddit just about the Jesuit commander-in-chief. All his people. Look who he's appointing, guys. He's starting to get a globalist. His credo was Americanism, not globalism, be our credo. Yeah, of course, in the beginning, sure, right? But he's starting to import people in from the globalists. Look at the CIA director, stuff like that. But I want to post this here. It just shows you his breakdown of all his supporters. But I want to cover some specific ones here. And this is going to go into his past a little bit, his connections with Clinton, Rudy Giuliani, Larry Silverstein, owner of the Trade Center, who took out insurance and everything before it fell and whatnot. But this is going to be some deep stuff because, as a Christian, I believe in what the Scripture says in Thessalonians and Timothy and everything. We need to question everything. And even Scripture, it says all Scripture is, profitable for reproof, correction, instruction, righteousness, and Timothy tells us to test everything. Test all things, hold fast to what's good. I think it's in 2 Thessalonians. Let me check that really. First Thessalonians. Okay, 5:21. Here, I'll pull that up here. Yeah, so test everything. I knew it was either Timothy or there's another one in Timothy, but I'll get in another passage I want to cover in Timothy, but I'll get that later. But anyways, let me cover this. I'm going to try to be quick here, not make a giant video, so I'm going to just kind of cover over some of this stuff. I'll post these links in the description so you can read it yourself and do your own research. That's my goal, guys, so you can go down there. But here's Trump on 9/11 saying how bombs were used and everything. And,
Donald, you're probably the best known builder, particularly of great buildings in the city. There's a great deal of question about whether or not the damage and the ultimate destruction of the buildings was caused by the airplanes, by architectural defect, or possibly by bombs or aftershocks. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, it was an architectural defect. The World Trade Center was always known as a very, very strong building. Don't forget, that took a big bomb in the basement. Now, the basement is the most vulnerable place because that's your foundation. And it withstood that. And I got to see that area about 3 or 4 days after it took place because one of my structural engineers actually took me for a tour because he did the building. And I said, I can't believe it. The building was standing solid and half of the columns were blown out. So this was an unbelievably powerful building. If you know anything about structure, it was one of the first buildings that was built from the outside. The steel, the reason the World Trade Center had such narrow windows is that in between all the windows, you had the steel on the outside. So you had the steel on the outside of the building. That's why when I first looked, and you had big, heavy I-beams. When I first looked at it, I couldn't believe it because there was a hole in the steel. And this is steel that was, you remember the width of the windows of the World Trade Center, folks. I think if you were ever up there, they were quite narrow. And in between was this heavy steel. I said, how could a plane, even a 767 or 747, or whatever it might have been, how could it possibly go through the steel? I happen to think that they had not only a plane, but they had bombs that exploded almost simultaneously, because I just can't imagine anything being able to go through that wall. Most buildings are built with the steel is on the inside around the elevator shaft. This one was built from the outside, which is the strongest structure you can have.
All right, I'll let you guys watch the rest of the video, but that's Donald Trump's take. Now, I want to take you back to the past, guys. He was friends with Giuliani, Silverstein, who owned Building 7, the Trade Center and all that. So I want to kind of take you to this other video. This is him and his good friend Rudy Giuliani here. Mayor's Inner Circle, you know. So that was one of the videos he did. Donald Trump was part of that.
You're really beautiful. And a woman that looks
Very
like that
good supporter.
has to have her
Knew
own
him.
special
Obviously, he was a
Oh, thank you.
real estate Mongol.
Maybe you could tell me what you think of this set.
I like that.
This may be the best of all. Oh, you dirty boy, you! Oh!
You think they weren't good friends? So I wanted to show you that. And here's, speaking of his friends, he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Goes down, calls him a good guy. You know, look, Epstein had 14 numbers for Donald Trump. This stuff's released. You can go research this stuff. He says, I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's had a lot of fun to be with. These are direct quotes. Yeah, he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. Oh, really? Sure you know that, Donald Trump, since apparently, you know, it's been released, and he hasn't denied this, that he would partake in the same as Clinton on the Lolita Express to Mr. Epstein's pedo island. But these are, like I said, guys, I can't 100% confirm any of this. I just want to relay you the best information I can, so you can do your research, and you might find out that some of these things are 100% true. But anyways, so that's some of the stuff I wanted to show you on this. I'll post all these links in the description so you can do some research. Okay, second thing, this is Larry Silverstein, his good buddy. He talks about that too. I wish I got some more links in here, but he took out a lot of money. Donald Trump admitted he talked to him after the fact. So I want to tell you about Building 7, why it fell. They say it was just for a fire, but Silverstein admits it by his own mouth here, what they did before Mr. Giuliani was escorted out of the building.
Pelted by debris when the North Tower collapsed, 7 burned until late afternoon, allowing occupants to evacuate to safety.
I remember getting a call from the fire department commander telling me that they were not sure they were going to be able to contain the fire. And I said, you know, we've had such terrible loss of life. Maybe the smartest thing to do is pull it. And they made that decision to pull, and then we watched the building collapse.
So that proves without a doubt that there was demolitions already pre-built inside these towers. You heard it from the mouth of his own guy, and you're going to sit there and say, you heard it from Donald Trump too, guys. The buildings fell at free fall speed, and there was the debris was heated months after, was still molten hot because of thermite that was used and put in place in construction that was beforehand, supposedly. Okay, guys, this is all, you know, I can't tell you this 100% or whatever. I went there, but you need to go go research so you can find the truth, because you test everything and you'll see the truth will shine. I mean, I can tell you, obviously, that Building 7 for a fact went down, unless Mr. Silverstein's lying. So let's keep going here. This is a page I want to show you. This is architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth. These are board-certified architects and engineers who, you know, show. I mean, they have reason, obviously. Mr. Silverstein just admit Building 7 fell. You know, apparently the official story was that it was a fire and whatever, but you just heard Larry Silverstein admit. And there's multiple videos, guys. This is why they escorted Mr. Giuliani out. And there's video, you know, saying, oh, yeah, we're going to pull it, yeah, it's going to fall now, we're going to bring it down because it's damaged, you know, so just do your research. So this is what I wanted to show you. These are real scientists that go on the record, put their jobs on the line to show you and tell you that this was not how they're saying it was. Now, remember, Donald Trump said he was going to reopen the investigations on this stuff. Oh, he was going to tell you about Saudi Arabia. Remember him going on the record? Oh, you'll find out Saudi Arabia did a whole bunch of stuff. But then again, you go to see things like this, and sorry about that, guys. I'm back here. I had to go pull up and unmute this tab here. But I want to say, you go and see things like this, where the Saudis gave the U.S. $360 billion in deals, and then they want Trump to rescind the 9/11 lawsuit. And then, see, this was back in May of last year. But then you go to something like this here. Oh, come on, pull it up. Okay, Saudi asked they asked the U.S. judge to throw out the 9/11 lawsuits, and since Trump was proceeding over this, because look, if you go and research the whole Saudi connection, it's just a ruse. It's just a deviation, in my opinion, from the facts, because they never released anything with the stupid pages, man. They're not going to give anything out. Trump's not going to reinvestigate it with the open up or another commission or anything. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. But I'll throw this link in there too. We'll see what comes about this. I don't know for sure if it's been thrown out yet. I haven't seen anything on it. But but I guarantee it's going to get thrown out. We'll see what happens. But anyways, let me keep going here. So I took you to the Miami Herald here. Let's keep going. So, hold on. Let me see here. This is about Building 7 as well here. Let me go to it. Okay, and this was released before they even pulled Building 7. Did you see any fire debris on that building? If you go and rewatch the video footage, let me unmute this tab. I did the same thing here.
Town in New York, behind me, down by the World Trade Centers, of just an area completely closed off as the rescue workers try to do their job. But this isn't the first building that has suffered as a result. We know that part of the Marriott Hotel next to the World Trade Center also collapsed as a result of this huge amount of falling debris from 110 floors of the two twin towers of the World Trade Center. As you can see behind me, the Trade Center appears to be still burning. We see these huge clouds of smoke and ash, and we know that behind that there's an empty piece of what was a very familiar New York skyline. There's almost a sense.
Tell us about the Salomon Brothers building and its collapse.
See, they're talking about the collapse.
Well,
you can see it clearly in the background.
Already know. Details are
I'll
very,
let you guys
very
pull
sketchy.
this up. It was all orchestrated. BBC was publishing this stuff, before it even happened. I'm giving you guys some real evidence here, because some people just don't want to know it, don't want to research anything. That wasn't the video I needed to use. All right, this is the other part I wanted to talk about Bush in the classroom. Supposedly, where he was when they told him about it. It was all just put together, guys, in my humble opinion. Who knows? I want you to do your own research. But also, I'm going to pull up about, the Saudi Arabia, since I was on that note, about them giving Giuliani all this money. I'll pull up that video too. I gotta find it. But let me play this one. Check out this crazy thing. See, I only saw an excerpt of this video when Bush was told and whispered, about 9/11. But I want you to pay attention to what the kids are saying in this video, because dude, you can't make this stuff up.
Get ready to read all these words on this page without making a mistake. Look at the letter at the end and remember the sound it makes. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready to read this word the fast way. Get ready. Kid. Yes, kid. Sound it out. Get ready. Kid. Sound it out. Get ready. Kid. What word? Kid. Yes, kid. Boys and girls, sound this word out. Get ready. Steel. What word? Steel. Yes, steel. Read these words the fast way. Get ready. Play. Yes, playing. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Let's read these words the fast way without making a mistake. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready. Kit. Yes, kit. Get ready. Steel. Yes, steel. Get ready. Play. Yes, playing. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Go to your speaker reader up from under your seat. Open your book up to lesson 60 on page 153. Count of three, everyone should be on page 153. rescue. Everybody touch the title of your story. Fingers under the title. Get ready to read the title, The Fast Way.
She likes to go running with her dad.
But I'll post this video in there too, and I don't want to keep this video too long. But guys, you just need to start looking up this stuff, man. But what I didn't have time to include in this video was the Larry Silverstein connections. But guys, let me find that real quick before I end this video. All right, here's Donald Trump talking about his good friend Larry Silverstein here, right out of his own mouth.
Forward to get it built faster, and I mean, frankly, I'd rather see nothing than see that pile of junk.
What role are you going to take? I mean, you're not a sidewalk superintendent, you're Donald Trump. I mean, what role? Will you lead a coalition to stop Governor Pataki from his strong support for the Freedom Tower?
Well, there's not much of a role I can take. It all started when the New York Post called me and asked my opinion. And I'm the biggest developer in New York by far. I've done just about, I guess, everything you can do in the world of real estate. And I see what's happening down there. It's a mess. And the developer is actually a friend of mine, but he didn't want to build this building either. If you look back at the records, I mean, when it was first foisted upon him, Larry Silverstein is a great guy. He's a good guy. He's a friend of mine. But he didn't want to build this pile of...
You know why he didn't want to build it? Because it was going to cost him so much more money. He didn't want to, you know, have to lose any of the more money he made off all the good insurance from the 9/11. But this is why they worship money, guys. He wouldn't be in the place he is if he didn't worship money. But anyways, I'll go ahead and end the video here. I'm already almost 8 minutes in. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to post all these links down in the description. Hopefully I can make a new video soon about, you know, the rapture, tribulation, stuff like that. If you have an idea for a video, please post it in the description.